tired as fuck. Um, right now I'm just making plans. Right now I'm just making plans. I just gotta take care of business right now. I don't know why it's locked up. Right now I'm just making plans. Um, I've been procrastinating a little bit. I've been procrastinating a little bit. Let's see. No. And procrastinating a little bit on the plans that to take care of the plans that I got to go to Florida and all that. I don't know if I'm how long I'm gonna continue this. I'm tired, but plans gonna go down to Tampa and everything. I've been researching a little bit about Tampa. Um, I got some areas. I found some neighborhoods that I think I might like down there that I'll explore. Um, I'm kind of glad that it kind of got like a couple of cities in one. It's right on the coast too. Um, I heard some chill things about St. Petersburg. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like I have a plan set up for what I'm planning on doing down there. Uh, that shit just fucking. I didn't realize that shit was just ending right now. But I got some plans for what I'm doing down there. Um, going down to. I was saying too much, but obviously I'm gonna visit Mulatto Rona, meet up with Mulatto Rona. We're gonna do some content together. Also, obviously, I've been figuring out my living situation. I got something that I got plan on doing out there. Plan on volunteering too. Yeah, I definitely plan on volunteering. If I can't find a job down there, I definitely plan on volunteering. Plan on volunteering a lot. I plan on networking a lot. Just to kind of see where I can get a foothold and there's resources down there, so I'm not really too worried about that. St. Petersburg sounds like it's a chill place to like hang out and everything. Like what I would plan on doing, I'd be like go to like Tampa to take care of my business, try to network and everything, try to volunteer, visit food pantries to get food. And the only reason I say food pantries to get food is because I'm not really trying to spend too much of my own money on food, especially because I don't know how expensive it is down there. I haven't been down to Tampa since I was a kid, and even then, when I was down there as a kid, all I was doing was um, going to Busch Gardens. That's all we went. We went to Busch Gardens down there when I was a kid. And I remember Busch Gardens too. I ain't gonna lie. I did enjoy that. Like I like the kind of the globe, the international vibe that Busch Gardens had. That looks disgusting. But I enjoyed the international vibe that Busch Gardens had. Um, so I remember walking through, a part of the park that looked like France, a recreation of France. I remember walking through a part that looked like a recreation of like Italy. I remember walking through a part that looked like a recreation of like Egypt. I remember walking through a part that looked like a recreation like the Amazon rainforest or even like the Congo or something like that. But I enjoy the international vibe of Busch Gardens. So, like when I go back there, I'm definitely. I don't know if like I don't know how expensive it'll be, but I wouldn't mind taking a trip to Busch Gardens to just look around. They also have like a zoo. It's like an amusement park and a zoo in one kind of. They had an international vibe. You kind of like feel like almost kind of like a feel of a whole different countries out there. They got a zoo. They had like a zoo type of like I remember seeing like rhinos and giraffes down there, but I don't remember. It's like an international vibe. It's like walking through different parts of the park and feeling like you're in different countries. And then there's a part that kind of like there was a lot of animals over there too, but I don't remember how separate it was from the international vibe. And then there was a whole lot of rides and roller coasters and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what some of the rides were at Busch Gardens, but I remember one that my sisters went on that was like I don't remember how it felt like it was 200 feet high, but it was like a 90-degree drop down. Um, I didn't go on it because I'm not about to do all that. Rides, roller coasters. I think it was called like that shocker some of the some sh, but um almost like the Shakira or something. It wasn't Shakira, but you got the Loch Ness monster roller coaster and Busch Gardens. You got the Kumba. Um yeah, I wanna because I remember I don't remember what the names were for these roller coasters, but is this the same thing? Busch Gardens in Virginia? No, no, I'm looking for Busch Gardens in Tampa. Why did it go back like that? Why did it go back like that? I'm looking for Busch Gardens in Tampa. Did I say 11:30? I don't remember. Either way, it's just fine now. I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up in the morning anyway. But Bush, no. Let me see. I don't know why it goes back like that. It's weird, but uh, yeah, Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Yes. What's the roller coasters that's there? Tampa Bay roller coasters. He actually got on the subject 'cause that was the first time I remember going to Tampa Bay was going to Busch Gardens. I mean, before that, I had heard of Orlando. I heard of Disney World. Obviously, everybody heard Disney World. Yeah, yeah. Give me, yeah. Thank you. That's all I've been trying to look for. I don't know why it took so long to show me what I was looking for. There's a Kumba. There's a Mantu. The Shikra. That was what it was called. The Shikra, not the Shakira. It was the Shikra. That was like the nine. Yeah, 200. It was 200 feet. Okay, I was right. It was. I knew it was tall as shit. I just didn't remember the exact height. 200 foot tall and 90-degree vertical drop. I remember that. I remember that. Because I was looking at that shit like, hell no. My sister was like, hell yeah. I'm just like, girl, you are crazy. Then again, she's always been crazy. She is still crazy to this day. Cobra's Curse. I remember the Cobra's Curse, the Tigris. I don't remember going on a whole lot of roller coasters in Busch Gardens. I remember walking through it a lot and seeing some of the animals. Got the Tigris, the Tigris, the Iron Gwazi, and the Phoenix Rising. I remember the Phoenix Rising. I think I remember the water slide. Um, wasn't there was like an international about like Serengeti Express? It was another ride. um, Journey on the replica steam trains that traverses the Serengeti Plain. It originally stopped in Nairobi section. Oh, the section was the Nairobi section. That's why I'm saying it was a there was a Congo section of the Congo Nairobi section of the park. Sky Ride, where it transports guests from the Cheetah Hunt Plaza to the Stanleyville area of the park. Conversation of the Serengeti makes a right 90-degree turn. Okay. The Ubanga Banga bumper cars in the Congo section. There's a Stanleyville section, Cheetah Hunt Plaza. There's a Pantopia, the Bird Gardens, Sesame Street Safari. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. Than I remember that more than um Disney World. I don't know why I didn't remember that name, but I remember Busch Gardens more than Disney World. I think it's because like the international vibe, like it had all different sections with that looked like all different types of different countries. They had animals and stuff like that. They had rides. Like yeah, I remember Disney World. Obviously, Disney World, Disney themed. So you got the Disney Castle and everything. The with the blonde princess with Cinderella's castle, blonde princess. I can't even remember these damn names, but got the Space Mountain. I remember the Space Mountain clearly because it scared the shit out of me when I went in there. I didn't realize how dark that shit was gonna be. We went in like we got on the car and it shit started going on the track into the mouth of the mountain. And it was dark as hell in there. It was dark as hell. It felt like I was in a void, and all I seen was just like giant planets just lit up everywhere. And it freaked me out because I felt like I was really in space. I'm like, yo, I can't see anything besides planets and everything. So that kind of freaked me out. But yeah, yeah, I got a plan. I'm definitely gonna be volunteering when I get down there too. I'm definitely gonna be volunteering when I get down there. Hey, I appreciate whoever's. I don't know if you want. See if I can pull up the. I appreciate whoever's listening though. Um, Yeah, I plan on volunteering down there wherever I can. I mean, I'll look for a job too. Yeah, yeah, sure. But I mostly just plan on volunteering. Like, I don't expect to actually get a job and get some income, even though I'll try to. But mostly, I'll just plan on going to food pantries and food banks just to sustain myself nutrition wise, and then do volunteer work, different places, link up with Mulatto Ronan, and do content with him. Um, See, I don't know what other opportunities are down there. I guess I could check it out. And while I'm not taking care of business in the Tampa Bay area, I plan on going to St. Petersburg and just hanging out at the beach. Really, just chilling at the beach. Um, Shelter options will be sparse. I do know that, but I'm not really worried about that. I'll have options. Um, I really just I'm looking forward to the warmth, the heat. It's really just warmth to me because I can take a lot of heat and the humidity and the trees, the palm trees, the tropical vibe. I'll definitely be looking forward to the tropical vibe and stuff like that. I don't know if I should. Let me know if I should turn on the camera or whatever, but I'm definitely planning on leaving down there within a month. Tomorrow, I gotta take care of some errands, and I gotta put because all my money's in cash right now. I just gotta put that cash on my card and then buy the ticket because the ticket's online. I plan on taking a plane down there, and the ticket's online. I mean, even whether you take a bus or a train, I mean, unless there's a specific train station that you can actually pay for with cash to get the ticket, most all this stuff is online now. So it's like I like having cash on me because I don't like my money getting tracked. But I obviously know that I'm gonna need to be able to transfer that into digital currency so that way I can pay for things online. But maybe I just gotta. I mean, I'm not even presentable right now. Actually, that's one of the only reason I haven't turned the camera on. I'm not presentable. I'm eating. It's like late at night or whatever, so I'm kind of gonna be looking a little bit janky. I'm not cradle, not professional. I wouldn't say janky, just not professional. You know what I'm saying? Just like that last hangout that we had and everything. I'm not gonna be looking all that professional. Um, Also, I want to address the short that I put up earlier with the native woman on the news speaking to the news anchor. Like we need to be able to do stuff like that. If we're able to get to large platforms like that, then we'd be able to get our message out way more effectively to a larger number of people. And yes, we'll have to expect there's going to be pushback because she says she deals with pushback as well. That's why other content creators, Mulatto Mindset, talking about he has to carry a piece on him, especially living down in Florida. He got to have a piece on him. That's to be expected. I personally have my own utility tools and stuff like that that I can use to defend myself if I need to. But um, no, this is something that we're gonna need to like think about. But I think it's still worth it, even like taking that risk just to be able to get our name out and just to be able to get some of those programs, advocacies from like the government or programs that we can also start ourselves. We can also just start our own grassroots programs too. Um, Start our own grassroots programs. Like they like native people literally have their own independent programs that they've set up by themselves. And basically use their own funding to fund like food for like their own people and stuff like that in their own communities. Um, the news anchor showed sympathy. It's like, I'm gonna promote you guys because this is something that needs to be said. That's what I'm saying. Like we need to be promoted just like that. Well, that's what I'm saying. We can learn a lot from them. So that's what I'm saying. It's like in terms of like when it comes to natives, I would definitely see them as like a potential ally. And what we're gonna have to do is help them. We're gonna have to assist them. We're gonna have to show respect to their cause and stuff like that. We're gonna have to support their cause and promote their cause, advocate for their cause, but obviously, in a way that's just like, we'll scratch your back if you scratch ours, but also depends on how willing they are to, promote other people's causes too that are going through similar things as them. Because there's a lot of different types of people going through similar things as them. Put on a lot of other people too going through similar things as them. Yeah, I didn't looking, but there's a lot of people too going through similar things. A lot of people in this country are going through similar things as the natives and everything. That's why it's just like there's a lot of people trying to advocate for their own racial groups and gender groups and ideological groups and stuff like that are all feeling like they're being unheard, not heard, or even swallowed up, swallowed up by the dominant culture, the dominant powers that run shit in this country or whatever. But shout out to the viewer in the chat, man. I appreciate you. Um, but yeah, no, I even like part of me is like almost kind of nervous about it just because not everything. I mean, then again, it's been like the last few years of my life. Just not everything is. Um, Not every aspect of the plan is thought about. Some parts of the plan I'm kind of gonna have to think about as I'm doing it. But I mean, throw on some music once again. Basically just do what I did last time, last live, but I'm gonna see if I want to do anything else. Like I might do a quick review of Logic's movie Paradise Records. He came out with that, um, and that one that one was a funny one. No, I didn't hate that movie. I actually liked the movie, but there was a lot of like pandering involved and everything. It's like it seemed like a lot of the black people he was around in that movie was well like they would like be like, oh yeah, you black, but then you also white and stuff like that. I'm like, y'all be like the characters in his movie kind of like switched up the tone with him too on him and during the movie it was kind of like weird. That's why I'm like looking at Logic. I'm like, bro, you gotta stop identifying as black, bro, because you don't even look black, bro. Like, if anything, you look like a quadroon, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but black people are gonna make fun of you for that. Like, yeah, your dad might have African ancestry, but your dad kind of looks mixed too. Your dad kind of looks mulatto too, but I'm not gonna talk about that. Yeah, his dad kind of look a little bit mulatto too. He picks up the sound well. The Paradise Records, but let me see. But yeah, Tampa. Um, I don't even know anything really about it. Like, I've heard of, like, obviously you hear things about the Florida Man and Florida Cracker and all that. I expect to see that down there. Um, I mean, my ancestry on my dad's side did come from Florida, and I was talking to my grandma, and she was talking about that they came from Miami. That I mean, my granddad's peoples came from Belglade. They moved up to New York from Belglade, Florida. Um, but my grandma's peoples are in Miami. They're in Miami as we speak right now, actually. So I have a lot of like ancestry from Florida, which kind of makes sense though, like given like my affinity for places like Florida, like just tropical and subtropical places like Florida. When I first went down to Florida, it was almost like my soul was kind of like felt relieved, almost felt like there was no like less weight on it. I don't know what it was about the energy down there, but I mean, obviously you hear about Florida being crazy, people in Florida being crazy or whatever. I mean, people are in Florida being rude. I mean, that's all over the South, though. That's not something that you don't expect all over the South. But Tampa apparently has a much larger like Spanish culture, Spanish vibe. A lot of chat. Spanish culture, Spanish vibe. Um, they say like North Tampa. North Tampa is like more. There's like more crime in North Tampa. It's almost like more ghetto in North Tampa. Like the area is called like Ybor City. I kept hearing some place called Ybor City, like YBOR City. Um, that's supposed to be like ghetto and all that, and it's supposed to be like high crime rates and stuff like that. I looked up some of the shelters in Tampa, and I'm not gonna lie, like some of the shelters I've seen over there were around like Ybor City or however you pronounce it, but that's someplace I'll probably stay away from. Um, like I said, I'm probably gonna just go to the more chill areas like St. Petersburg. I heard St. Petersburg and Clearwater are probably pretty chill, and like South Tampa is probably pretty chill. I mean, Mulatto Ronan could expand more. He knows the place better than me. That's exactly why I don't mind meeting him because he probably knows more about the place than me. So he could probably put me in the right direction for things I could get out there. But I don't really need much. I don't really need much. I'm just, getting a shelter down there and get some food. And beyond that, I'm gonna just be volunteering and and hanging out with him and networking and creating contact with him. And then in the off times, I'm gonna just be hanging out in St. Petersburg, probably just hanging out at the beach, just enjoying myself. Um, St. Petersburg. Um, what was I gonna say? St. Petersburg, South Tampa, good place to be at and everything. What up, Mulatto Vibes? Um, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, no, I can't wait to go down there though. Part of me is slightly nervous because I don't know how it's gonna go because my experience in the South has been pretty unpredictable. When I went to South Carolina to meet my brother, it was actually pretty chill. It was pretty chill, but I don't think I was in a place where I was like, they kind of want to like they was like excited about me being there, so they wanted me to be a part of everything and stuff like that they had going on. It was kind of like one of them things where like you wake up and then my brother would be like, all right, let's go to the store or something like that. Let's go get some food. We go get some food, then we go do something else. We don't just get food. We go just do something else. Then we go hang out with somebody else. We chill with them. We smoke with them. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Smoking. Weed has been a huge habit in my life for the last decade and a half, and I'm pretty much like at this point really starting to break out of the mental kind of hold that I had on me. Cause I don't have no problem with weed. I still like weed and all that, but I know that for me right now, I gotta lay off this shit so that way I can continue moving forward with what I'm trying to do. But it's been hard though because like every time I get sober, it seems very hard for me to stay sober because I'm always itching. Just got off the job. Yeah, weed. Yeah. Weed can be a hindrance if you like. That's the thing is like I was smoking all day every day. I was the type of person smoke all day every day. Wake up, smoke, go somewhere, whatever, smoke. But it also messed with me like paranoia. Like I started getting paranoid and stuff too, especially with like the tensions and racial tensions in this country, making me paranoid and stuff like that. But I have to kind of like stop just to kind of like get my mind right and try to focus on something more. But I think maybe it's just because like my mind is finally at the most mature adult stage in my life that I don't feel like I need it as much. I've been sober like pretty like I smoked once so far in the last like 4 days, and I've been pretty much chill. Yeah, exactly. When you got goals to clear, that's really all it is. That's the only reason why I'm staying off this shit because I'm trying to like do something more with my life. So. Um, you said you just got off the job. I don't remember what job you said that you was working at. I don't remember what you said you was working where you was working at, but um, yeah, I don't want. And it's like when it comes to like working and stuff like that, I think a lot of people that I know probably like look at me, or like a lot of people that I have known look at me like, oh, you're lazy, whatever. I'm like, nah, I'm not lazy. It's just that the jobs that I've had or have been able to get, it's just not fulfilling. I'm just looking for more fulfilling work though. Oh, you're a chef? I like that. I like that. To be honest, I'm trying to get into that too. Like in terms of like starting a business, because I wouldn't mind starting a business. I'm gonna do culinary too. Like I want to do food cooking too, because I like food, and everybody needs food. Like that's an industry that'll never go away. That'll never dry up. So yeah, I would definitely do the same thing. What you be cooking, or well, like what type of cuisine do you chef up? Things gotta slow down. Start my own food truck. Also, a moving company like transporting medical equipment. Okay, transporting medical equipment. I never heard of that. A company that transport medical equipment. Um, to me, that sound like ambulance. They just sound like the ambulance to me. I never heard of anything like that. Start my own food truck. I know that you need like a license or whatever. There's a lot of people starting food trucks in out west. I know it's like out west. I wanted to say it was like Las Vegas or Los Angeles or something like that. That people starting food trucks out there, but they were unlicensed, so they kind of like had to be a little bit more strategic and smart about it. Um, and obviously, when it comes to like anything in terms of business wise, you gotta like we gotta like answer to somebody. You gotta get permission from the government or something like that. Uh, for the certificate for like LLC certificate or whatever. I don't know the ins and outs and all of that, but I know it can be complicated, which is why most people just prefer to just wing it and stuff like that, which I do. I usually just do the same thing. I don't really ask permission. I'll just like if somebody like catches me, I'll just what they would do. They would just probably just pack it up, move somewhere else, and just restart the whole thing again. Everything, saute, pizza, grill. I'm proficient in a lot of things. I tried to get the brothers together, but they really don't see the vision. Oh, you trying to get a crew together to start a food truck business and stuff like that? Yeah, that can be tough. Like trying to start a business on your own in America, especially when like people like you gotta have the belief system and the mindset for it. You gotta be like, I'm doing this no matter what.
And not a lot of people are willing to like be like, I'm doing this no matter what. A lot of people get like, kind of like choked up and want to kind of like go back to like what's easily makes them secure, and that's usually a job. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of like working just for other people and also like meaningless dead end jobs. I'm trying to start like we have value within ourselves to create what we want to see for the world and stuff like that. Exactly, exactly. Start a business together. Like I said, a lot of it's about like beliefs and mindset. A lot of it's about beliefs and mindset. Like you have to have like a rigid type of like almost delusional mindset. Because I know like my sisters are kind of like the same way. Like my sisters are basically like they want to start their own like business, but in order to do that, they're more willing to like fall in line to what job they're or career that they're doing now just to make the money and everything. Problem is, like those jobs and careers are kind of designed to keep you stuck there though. Um, they're kind of designed to keep you stuck there, especially if they don't pay enough. So where you can like take home extra to save that and build that up, so that way you can fund your own enterprise. A lot of a lot of companies you work for aren't really willing to like pay you that extra amount and stuff like that. And a lot of the times it's their own business models. Like the company you work for, it's their own business models. Why do we want to be slaves to other people when we can work together and own a company and build generational wealth? That's the issue that I've had, is that my journey has been mostly alone, trying to figure something out for myself on my own, because I obviously we all need help to be able to do our shit, to be able to make these dreams happen. But a lot of people would rather see results first before they even attempt to go that. I mean, I get that, I understand that. I just, for me, I had to take the risks. I have really no other choice. Like in the last live, I was talking about my own situation. Like I'm practically homeless right now. Like I'm literally living in and out of motels right now. Like I gotta go to DSS in the morning just to renew my motel voucher, and I'm also at DSS to get cash assistance too. That's the money that I have right now. Hold on, let me, cause I got money. I'm not broke. You know what I'm saying? We not no bums over here, you know what I'm saying? I've been stacking up for a little bit, you know. I got a passport and everything. I've been stacking up for a little bit, you know. I like to try to hide my bread and everything, but I've been stacking up. Like I'm trying to make something happen. Like all this money and everything. Like I'd be tempted. I'd be just obviously to spend it on weed or spend it on some dumb shit. But I'm like, no, I need to keep this. I need to keep this because I need to progress my own shit forward. Because even if I do progress my own shit forward, which I plan to, even with how the system works, like I still want to use that to try to like help out and stuff like that. And it can be hard, obviously, too. Try to find other mulattoes who identify as mulatto, who I don't identify as black, who aren't trying to be, all up like, ghetto or pander to the black community and stuff like that. It could be hard to find that. So I have, but sometimes, but got a job, I feel like I still need that helping hand. Of course, everybody does. I mean, nobody can like really like nobody can easily sustain a business by themselves. You can sustain a business by yourself, but it does take work, especially if you're trying to expand it, especially if you're trying to like, implement different, you got shelter, you got building expenses, property expenses, you got taxes that you got to pay to the government, you got to pay your employees, you got to invest in the ingredients to make your food and stuff like that. Like there's so much that goes into it, like you in order to like start from scratch. Yeah, nah, save your money, fam. If you can, find you a nice female. Make sure she contributing to push. Yeah, one thing I noticed is like that kind of like building, going to like Home Depot. Because I was thinking about like going to Home Depot and buying the supplies to build physical structures for a community that everybody can like live in and contribute to a society and everything. I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'm guarantee you that I'm gonna have to like basically go to Home Depot and spend all my money by myself to get all the supplies and build all these structures by myself before anybody decides to come through. And anybody who decides to come through at that point might be a freeloader, you know, and then we gonna have to kick them out, and who knows how many we're gonna have to kick out if they're not willing to contribute, if they want to see the results and eat off the results without contributing. So that's definitely the issue that, and especially with that American individualistic mindset, it's hard to get out of that because most people, that's baked in most people's heads. So you're right about that. That's the reason why it's tough to, you know, create a physical community in America because everybody got their own version. Everybody want to do their own version and everything. I mean, that's cool, but how are we going to contribute to the main goal at hand in different ways, though? Instead of just bickering back and forth about how everybody's going to do shit. Everybody has their own part to play. Not everybody has to do the same thing. I think a lot of, especially the older mulattoes, I think they have it in their head that everybody has to kind of do the same things. Like, no, that's not necessarily true. It's hard nowadays for women. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny that that message is held for review. Saying that women live in a fantasy world is a message that's held for review, but it is true. Like the amount of women that, like, even my own sisters, for example, like they are both very light skinned, Latina looking mixed women that can pass for white during the wintertime, but they both identify as black, and one of them's with a white man, with a black daughter, with a griff daughter, really. Yeah, and it kind of makes it an issue and everything. Like I know damn well they don't see themselves as fully black. They see themselves as mixed, but I think they want to align themselves with like a power structure because possibly they feel inherently insecure about themselves and they feel like they need to seek that security within the black community, or if they can't within the black community, still go hard for their black side while seeking security from the white community. Too many black women. I need a Latino or a white girl. Yeah, I used to fuck with white girls a lot. Like when I was growing up, I used to mess with white girls. Actually, the first girls I messed with was Asians. It was like Chinese girls, and then I started messing with white girls. And then as soon as high school was over, then I started getting all the black girls' attention and stuff like that. At this point, I want to go back to Asian girls. I literally had a dream I was messing with an Asian girl, one who does not identify with being gay. That's the whole point. Just have some standards for yourself, have some value for yourself, have a brain, like family values. We don't gotta be like American traditional conservative. There's different types of conservative out there. Like there's countries in Asia that have never touched Western ideology that are conservative, but they're not Western conservative. That's the thing, is like that Western conservatism that people are just like, oh, that's evil, that's racist or whatever the case. But the whole antithesis of that is just being ghetto and trashy and just impulsive and stuff like that. I'm like, after a while, that gets nowhere. After a while, it gets nowhere. I like learning shit. I'm from DC. They're all the way messed up out here. I heard DC was like a huge black hub, like a historically black hub. I heard that recently. I didn't even know that. It kind of makes sense because Trump had like a whole holiday or whatever he had a few days, especially within Black History Month, where it's just like, this is gonna be a black only space. We're gonna have like all these black people, come in. We're gonna let them hang out in the White House and stuff like that. And these were all like Republican identifying people. These were people who voted for Trump. There's a whole lot of black people that vote for Trump. The liberals don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that. And if anything, they'll look at them like, oh, they're racist or whatever. So all these black people are racist toward themselves and each other when they all voted for Trump. That makes a lot of sense. That makes complete sense. Now it's gentrified. Yeah, a lot of places are like that. The thing is with gentrification, is that it doesn't benefit the people who were there in the first place. It only benefits the people who come in and, fix it up themselves. So that's why, it doesn't, when it comes to that and everything, Um, I just think black people need to be able to fix up their. I know they can. They just choose not to a lot of the times. They fix up their shit. I think it's slowly improving. But I just need. I think they need to fix up their neighborhoods and stuff like that. And I know they can. I've seen them all the time being construction workers, being teachers, being scientists and doctors and lawyers and stuff. It's not like they can't do it. It's just that I blame liberalism. I really blame liberalism. I blame leftism. That kind of gave them an excuse to like kind of be like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm black or whatever. Like, then how the fuck did your people build America like you say they did? Because I believe that. I believe black people helped build America, but had a foundational hand in building America. But yet y'all claim that y'all can't do anything? That makes no sense to me. Well, it was all good, but it was good got DC because at first it was all just ghettos. Now it's some decent parts. I passed through DC once, really just downtown DC. I didn't go too far, but well, it was nice when I was there. Streets were clean, people were clean. You know, I didn't really see like they would talk about like people shitting on the streets and DC. I didn't see none of that when I was there. I mean, I wasn't there for too long, but I was able to actually walk through. I walked past the Capitol buildings. I was trying to go to the White House to look at the White House, but it was clean. It was a very nice place. I actually like, DC, a little bit compact, but it was a very nice place. I wouldn't consider it the South though. Even though like it kind of like felt like the South in terms of like the weather and stuff like that, and I'm sure like in some parts it kind of like seemed a little bit like the South. Um, yeah, it's all good now. Yeah, because I heard, especially in the '80s, especially like kind of like compared to New York City, like New York City and DC were kind of on par with each other in terms of like the crime rate and stuff like that. Gentrification helped DC because it was unsafe for a long time. Yeah, yeah, no, that's why I'm saying like it has its perks. Gentrification has its perks. I like seeing a city get cleaned up and stuff like that. Um, but it's like the people that whose neighborhoods are being gentrified. They always like talk about like they're destroying our neighborhoods. I mean, they're cleaning this stuff up, but you know, it can kind of be tough because I can feel it. Like I don't want to be pushed out of my own home, but if it's dirty, what's the point of me living there? Like it has no value, and I'm not putting any value in it if I'm leaving it dirty and stuff like that. That's kind of like my logic and thinking when it comes to that. That's what I'm saying. Like if y'all didn't want y'all shit like gentrified by other people and pushed out by other people, y'all need to clean your shit up because other people are coming in, like other real estate investors and prospectors are coming into your space, coming into your neighborhoods, and they're seeing these abandoned buildings, seeing these derelict buildings, and they're fixing them up themselves. But they're not gonna like let you, move into them. They're gonna try to find somebody else who can, raise the property value up. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking about it like in terms of like money and economics in the long term. Baltimore needs it next. Yeah, I heard the Baltimore was. I heard Baltimore was crazy. I heard Baltimore was crazy, like that accent and everything. Stupid. I heard some of those. I heard some of the accents in Baltimore, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be funny. I don't even know how they speak like that. I don't even know what they're saying, but that just be funny though.
I said, Baltimore accents, say this phrase out loud. Earn, and earn. Hold on, what? Earn. Aaron, and iron, Damn, what the fuck? We really talk like that? Yeah, let me see. Earn. Let me see. The iron. What? Earn, the iron. No. Aaron earned an iron earned.
Bro. They struggling. They struggle trying to understand how their own accents sound, bro. It's that yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know too much about Maryland, but that junk was funny. Aaron earned an iron urn or something like that. Yeah, how they say their syllables and vowels is funny as shit. I've been through. I've been to. I mean, I'm from New York State, but I've been to South Carolina. I lived in South Carolina. I lived in Tennessee, and I lived in Colorado. Um, Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be living in Florida for a while. All right, bro. Have a good night. That's how they really talk. um, yeah, I lived in a few different states. Um, South Carolina, I like South Carolina. It was like real country and everything. It was real chill, real laid back and everything. A lot of people there like to like hang out with each other and just talk and stuff like that, shoot the shit. Ain't really too much to do really down in South Carolina, just to hang out and shoot the shit with everybody. And Tennessee was cool. Tennessee was cool. I was trying to do my best out there to just, talk to the people, get to know the people, do my work right and everything, just build up a good rapport with the people out there. But I don't know what happened. Everything just kind of fell apart, like slowly and then all at once. Like I lost a girlfriend out there, I lost a car out there, lost my job out there, I lost a place to stay out there. My cousin kicked me out of his place and everything. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It kind of made me mad. Definitely made me mad. Because I was trying to like do what I could to help out and everything. I was trying to like be as cool as I could, positive as I can. But I kept getting tested. I had to leave. I had to save up all the money that I had made, and I just left because I'm like, if I don't leave right now, because I was thinking about just staying and trying to like, figure it out and try to work through it. But I'm like, I don't have anything besides this money to sustain me. So if I run out trying to figure something out here in Tennessee, then I'm gonna just be stuck here. I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in no Tennessee. So I just took my shit and then left. I didn't want to be back up here in New York State too long. I just want to see my family and see if I can, try again to get somewhere out here. But it's kind of keys out here too, so I don't expect it to be like peaches and cream down in Florida. I'm gonna just try to like see if I can get somewhere with that, and see if Mulatto Ronin got some information, about where I could go to get other resources that I need or whatever. I don't expect people to be friendly down there, but I do, I'm trying to like stay out the way, mind my business, and just be good. Just be good and just stay in places where, I won't have too much trouble and stuff like that. But knowing me, knowing, how I like to be and everything, even though it just be minding my business, still people still be trying to like find ways to like fuck with me and like get at me and shit like that for no reason. So I have to expect that. I do have to expect that, but I heard Tampa's airport was pretty good though, pretty nice though. So I wouldn't mind taking my first flight overseas from Tampa. Um, and I'm thinking about going to like probably like either Thailand or Brazil or maybe Hawaii, maybe Colombia. Um, let's see. Brazil, Southeast Asia, definitely. Maybe even Japan or southern China. I'm kind of tired of snow and cold though, so I wouldn't try to go anywhere too up north. That I wouldn't. Was it? I think Vietnam's. No, Vietnam's in the south. I'm not thinking about Vietnam. I'm thinking about Korea. Korea is up in the north. Korea is probably like North Asia. Korea's kind of near Russia. Korea's kind of near Russia, and it has 4 seasons. It gets pretty cold during the winter time. So if I ever go there, then if I ever go to there during the winter, then I would definitely have to obviously have to prepare for that shit. But I wouldn't go there during the winter time. I would try to go there during the summertime. Hey, what's up, Mulatto Crusader? Good morning. What time is it where you're at? Or is it just after midnight? Either way, good morning. It's probably close to after midnight over here too. Oh, it's about to be midnight, so it's almost morning. But yeah. If any of y'all want to talk, let me know what y'all want to talk about. But I'm just kind of go off the handle, just speaking whatever I feel like saying. But um, I do miss Busch Gardens though. I do miss Busch Gardens in Tampa. I was thinking about going to the Florida Keys though. I was thinking about going to Key West, but I think like I've been looking at the environmental, like the sea level rising, the climate change, sea level rising, and they're talking about like the coastal areas in Florida might be having trouble keeping infrastructure steady in like the next couple decades. So I don't expect that infrastructure is gonna be too sound. I don't expect people to be like too secure in what they're doing. I would expect it to kind of be like people kind of like scramble to get what they can in the moment or whatever. I heard Florida was probably not the best place to raise a family, but it's like great. That's pretty good if you're single and trying to like make some money. You're trying to like um, business network, set up, your own business or whatever. I mean, the history of Florida in and of itself, the history of Florida in and of itself, was more of like a business venture, more of like one of those shitty business venture histories. When I say shitty business venture histories, I mean like entrepreneurs that were from different other southern states kind of like went down to Florida. Like after Florida was like colonized and everything, where Florida was colonized, so mostly in the coastal areas, mostly in the Miami area and the Fort Lauderdale area. It was pretty quiet afterwards until Walt Disney went down there and established Disney World in Orlando. A lot of like white entrepreneurs went down there to like establish um, businesses, but because of the geography of Florida, like they was kind of like having a hard time trying to set up something that was like sound and everything. It's because it's so flat and so down close to sea level. They had trouble establishing something. So a lot of their business ventures that they did do were kind of like shoddy and everything. They did like half-ass business ventures and kind of attracted people down to it through these business ventures that they were marketing as like great business ventures, great for business, or great opportunities to live down in Florida and stuff like that. But when the people started moving down to Florida and started like buying up these houses and moving into these houses and renting out these apartments and houses, it was like they had the heat and the humidity and the the swampy areas, especially inland, and they had like the bugs and all that. So it was like it was something that they dealt with, but something that they didn't want to deal with because they already spent the money. They just kind of like had to just thug it out at that point. It's like, oh, well, we fucked up by buying this stuff, but we got to deal with it with what we can. And obviously the Latin American influence, the Cuban and Spanish influence in South Florida, Central and South Florida apparently is different than North Florida, which is more Southern Anglo and African. Southern Anglo and African is Northern Florida, and more Central and Southern Florida is more like Spanish, Portuguese, Cuban, um, like multi-ethnic, African, even people from like the Midwest and the Northeast where I'm from, coming down to South Florida to move down there, retirees and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna stay up on this too much longer. But I appreciate whoever jumped in here to hang out and stuff like that. Just talking. Um, let's see. But yeah, Florida definitely dealing with sea level rise with salt water kind of like infiltrating some of the freshwater aquifers, going inland because of the sea level rising. Certain species of creatures dying have to be kind of like the rest of the creatures that are still alive are being replaced somewhere else where they can actually thrive and stuff like that. So I don't know if I would actually like set up a life in Florida, but I definitely want to go down there just to check it out, visit, and live for a little bit before it does become unlivable and too hot. Um, I do expect it to be hot, but I like it hot, so I don't mind. At least the winter will be like mad chill, and I won't have to worry too much about freezing to death during the winter, which I'm grateful for. Cause I'm tired of the cold and the snow. Tired of that shit. And it's not really that interesting, but um, also, I mean, there's California too, but California's getting drier by the day, and it's already like a desert state. Um, I still want to see it though. I still want to see California though. I still want to see the tropical desert out there. It's almost kind of like it will almost be kind of like nostalgic for me to go out and kind of like see what like Hollywood looked like and everything, because I grew up on like Hollywood movies and stuff like that. I remember like Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. Drake and Josh Go Hollywood when there was like seeing the palm trees and seeing the desert and stuff like that. Um, but I don't like the dry air though. That's the thing about like deserts and stuff like that. I don't like the dry air. It's all dry and dusty and everything. Sometimes hard to talk and everything. You're always thirsty and stuff like that. Your skin always dry. Your hair always dry. That's why I like humidity personally. Um, but humidity can definitely feel oppressive and everything when the moisture in the air is like mad warm and stuff like that. So I almost feel like you're always sweating. But in the desert, it's like you always feel like the sun on your like neck and on your like head and on your back, and it burns your skin because the air is dry and doesn't have a whole lot of moisture with it too. So almost kind of like feel like the dusty wind kind of chafes your skin a little bit. I had to get used to low humidity when I went out west. I know they've been having wildfires too out there, so it's definitely even been getting drier. So, but I'm about to get off this in a second though. I'm getting tired myself. Gotta get up at like 7 in the morning. So I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me on the live, man. I'll do this again another day. Peace.